Watkins Glen is steeped in racing history, and if anyone wants to learn more about the sport, they can visit the International Motor Racing Research Center. This facility was founded by the same family that helped launch Watkins Glen's racing legacy.
Well, my father, originated the races here in 1948, driving this red TCMG that's on my necktie. And really, this racing library was a brainchild of my mother's, who loved the sport of racing almost as much as my father. But people from all around the country would come to Watkins Glen, and the public library developed a very sizable motor racing collection. And it grew and grew. And for the 50th anniversary of racing at Watkins Glen, WGI and the Vintage Sports Fraternity, along with some other wonderful people, John Bishop included, the founder of IMSA, decided that they needed to have a commemoration of the 50 years, and we had enough material, and in 1998 we dedicated this building, which is now in its 11th year. And it's grown like topsy. Collections come in from around the world. We just got a wonderful collection from Ed Hughes, and every year, matter of fact, our success is kind of our defeat. We are going to be building a new edition. We do have so many volumes and films here, mementos and collections of every type that you can think of.
A gala fundraising charity auction was held at the Center on Friday night of the Vintage Grand Prix.
Well, tonight is our auction. This is our annual auction, and we are auctioning off all this wonderful artwork and mementos, and we also have a unique 1987 Corvette, one of two made. One was made for A.J. Foyt and then his team manager, and that's our raffle. We get no government funding or any corporate sponsorship, and it's the fans, it's the friends of the center that keep us going.
Overseeing the daily operations at the Research Center is Mark Steigerwald.
Cameron Argetsinger founded racing here in 1948, or I should say road racing was reborn in 1948 here, and since then Watkins Glen has enjoyed Formula One, Can-Am, all sorts of sports car racing, and it's a rich history that goes back 60 years now. And naturally, our facility would be an outgrowth of that history. The track is still used throughout the year, throughout our own season, in terms of, well, weather permitting. But it's a track that people still gravitate towards because of the history here. And our collections here reflect that love of the sport. There's a focus on road racing here, but it's by no means all of our materials. We've got Indianapolis dirt track racing, all sorts of motorsports history here at the center. We celebrated our 10-year anniversary recently. We've been operational for 10 years. We've grown by leaps and bounds. I don't think anyone envisioned exactly what we would collect over the years. It's really grown to museum-type items, as I call them, three-dimensional items, trophies, driver suits, helmets, other things like that comprise an entire driver's collection. The example that comes to mind is the Ed Hughes collection. His widow, Barbara Hughes, has donated essentially Ed's archive to us. It's everything from FIA papers to one of the Porsche 906s that he raced to his driver's suit, helmet, gloves, goggles, and everything in between that really tells Ed's entire story as a driver. We are expanding. It's an ongoing process for us. It's a long-term plan, and we've just reached that point where we do need to expand. We have some off-site storage, but we anticipate more of these collections coming. Greater stature in terms of the materials. We have the Randy Barnett collection, for example. Randy Barnett was a journalist stationed overseas. He wrote for Stars and Stripes. We have 2 5-drawer filing cabinets full of every article he's ever written, his personal files on tracks and drivers, all of his negatives. It's a tremendous archive, and it's one of only several that we have and that will come down the pike.